Well, I'm back, and this is the last Wilddog prep video. So this is the last weekend before we're racing. It's a Saturday, so 6 days, and we'll be racing this thing. And if you can't half tell, I am bloody excited for it. I cannot wait. So this will be uploaded the night before we go racing, so Thursday night. And yeah, we start racing Friday, and then the spectators are Saturday and Sunday. So I'll be doing like a 3-part video on Wilddog. So it'll be the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye out for all that. If you do see me at the event, I'm gonna have some stickers in the car. And one of these ones too. So if you want some free stickers, come and ask me for some. It's the only place I'm gonna do it for free, because believe it or not, it costs me money. So yeah, if you want some free stickers, come and see me at Wilddog, just when I'm not busy. And if you know what my wife looks like, you can go and find her as well, and she'll have some stickers and you can get some off her. All right, so we're gonna get in some jobs. I've spent all week in here pretty much, and most nights has been after midnight in here. I just don't want to do this the week leading up to the race. I'd rather do it the week before. So I've been putting in the hours, yeah, some bloody late nights and then early mornings for work. So I haven't been too happy this week, been a bit tired. I did have to run the car into Scott at Chickerell Street Exhaust. If you remember back to when I put this motor in, I took it to him and he done all the exhaust and a bit of cooler piping and things like that. And what we end up having to do was put a flexi join between the wastegate and the dump pipe. It was real hard for him to get them two lined up perfectly and seal the V-bands properly. So he had to put a flex join in. And at that time, the only flex join he had was these. And he was a little bit concerned about putting one of them in. And I have heard stories about these. So during the week, I took it back to him, and he replaced this flexi join with a steel sleeved one. They're not as flexible, but they stopped doing this. So it's sort of hard to tell. Get a good background on it. It sort of shrunk down, like it's a 3-inch flexi joint. It's probably shrunk down to 2 inches. And that's what happens. The inside of them collapses out under super high temperatures. So we did know that when he put it in, and yeah, just haven't had time to take it back to him to get it changed out, because we were concerned about that. And the last time I actually drove this car, it was doing a bit of funny stuff with the boost. Like, it had a lot of back pressure in there. It was struggling to build boost properly, and it was a bit doughy off the bottom. So that was the #1 suspect. And yeah, when he cut it out and we seen it started to collapse, that's a good sign. So even I went for a quick drive around already, and yeah, it's made a huge difference. So if you have them in your dump pipe, just keep that in mind. They can start to collapse and cause you some issues. There is a second one like underneath the car down near the end, and we inspected, he inspected that when he was in there, and that all looks good. So that's way further back down the exhaust, nowhere near as much heat. But yeah, because this one was just directly at the turbo pretty much, it causes some problems. So I have fully serviced it. It's ready to go, all fresh oils. Done the motor last night, new oil and filter. That's ready to go. And I did the methanol pump down there last night as well. I stripped that down, put all new bearings in it, and because they're not really designed to be outside and submerged in water. So water gets into the pump, and then it sits in this bearing on the bottom of the armature and then seizes the pump up. So yeah, for a while I've just been spraying WD, pulling it apart, WD-40, and yeah, I thought put some new bearings in it. I do actually have a second pump, which I rebuilt the other week. So I've got 2 pumps now, both with fresh bearings, and so yeah, I'll be able to take that to the event. So we also done the valve clearances as well, which I've done before when I put this motor in, but yeah, it was good to redo them. So it's running Mickey Mouse now, and then I just had to do a heap of other stuff, like cover all the terminals and pack me recovery gear and all that sort of stuff to make sure it was ready for scrutineering, because while it was in at Scotty's, he scrutineered it as well. There, while it was in there, these are the scrutineering sheets he has to go through and do a tick and flick on the car and inspect it, and then it goes in your logbook here, and that's a logbook of your vehicle. So that's part of racing. So the final couple jobs I've got to do today, I just got to inspect the winch with these red winches. I just got to pull the end plate off. Quick inspection. It's only new, so it won't need anything, but I might pack a bit of fresh grease in there because these run grease, not oil. So that's a quick job. Change the steering box, radius arm bushers, and then I've got to shorten these sway bar links at the back that join the arm to the diff, because the arm's up too high and the rod end's rubbing on the tyre. So I just got to shorten the links down, and yeah, that should sort that out. But going for a quick drive around, doing that sway bar mod, how we moved it back, made a huge difference just driving out on the road. So I can't wait to rally it up the bush. So I've got the fuel pressure sensor wired in, you can see right there, fuel. So that's all wired in, ready to go. And I've just got my laptop here. I just had it plugged into the computer. I just got a problem. We found a problem with the relay for the methanol pump. So I've got to go in and get a new relay, but that's all good to go. We're just smashing some jobs out. I forgot to actually get the camera out. So the winch, we had a quick look at that. So the beauty of these bloody beautiful winches is you undo, I think there's 12 bolts on the end plate. You pull that whole end plate off and it's full of grease. So just inspection, make sure the bearings are all good, pack a little bit more grease in there. The winch hasn't done that much work. If you remember last year, that's when I put the winch on and then put the original red winch on the other car. And Jesse just done the radius arm bushers. I swapped out the front tail shaft, and I braced the panhard mount here. So just got to pull it off the hoist, pull the wheels off it, and steering box and sway bar links. Big dog's got the steering box off. So the steering box is all done. Old one out, new one in. It was a bit of a pain in the ass getting it off the steering column, the spline there onto the box. That was a bit annoying, but the rest of it wasn't too bad. So the whole reason that I changed it was I was rallying along and there was a big washout in the road, and I just hit it full noise. The car handled it fine, but then my steering wheel was, you know, not quite 90 degrees out, you know, sort of 45 degrees out. So I was a bit concerned that it twisted the spline or something in the box, and yeah, I just thought I may as well change it. I've got a spare one on the shelf, so I may as well change it, and then at least I know that that's good. And the other one's still fine for a spare. But yeah, I'd hate to be rallying out at Wilddog and clip the edge of a tree and bust the steering box because of something that was already half buggered. But anyway, it'd be good for a spare. So yeah, fresh one on there. We're getting real close to knocking off all the jobs on the list. It's one by one, deleting them off the list is actually very satisfying. So as you can see in the last video, I think it was, we changed your sway bar setup. It actually drives completely different. It's so good. So but you can see here that it's already rubbing on the tire. So this link rod's a bit long. So what I'm gonna do is shorten that, because I have no way of cutting more thread in it and shorten it. I'm going to cut and shut it in the middle, maybe sleeve it with something. So yeah, cut that, shorten it, try and bring the arm maybe like 50 mil, maybe a bit further, maybe 100 mil down. And then the sway bar won't be, you know, because at the moment the sway bar's about here on the sidewall, hitting these big side lugs. But if I bring it down, you know, to somewhere on the rim here, or, you know, somewhere here, there'll be a lot more clearance. So that's something I've got cracking on now. So I've just finished doing these sway bar links. As you can see, it's a heap shorter. So it used to be up here. I think I took 130 mil out of it, and then I just cut and shut them and then sleeved them with a bit of tube that fit over the top. So they should be good. When going so short with these link arms, you just got to be careful about binding the rod ends. So I'll check that tomorrow, but it should be right. They've got a fair bit of movement in them, so that should be right. And yeah, you can see that there, how much more room between the tyre it is and the arm as well, compared to when it was up here. It was right next to the tread blocks on the inside there, so it all looks good. Now when it's up the top near the tread blocks, if you can imagine, as the wheel goes up into the guard to flex, it goes up and in, and it hits the guard anyway. It hits the inner guard on wagons and everything. So if that sway bar link is near the top of the tyre there, as the tyre goes up and in on its radius, it inevitably hits the sway bar like super easy. So that's why, yeah, closer to the middle of the rim. So as this wheel goes up and in, less chance of, you know, it making contact there. Well, that's me done for the day. So in the morning, I just got to tidy up a few little jobs, get it driving again, because I've got to sort something out with the laptop. So I'll shut it down here and we'll see you tomorrow. Well, I've spent all day in here just ticking away at this thing. I haven't filmed anything because most of them have just been like little jobs. But anyway, the car's nearly ready. And due to some technicalities in the rule book, super technical, like whatever, my opinion doesn't matter, but whatever. I've got to run water only in the tank, so I can't run the water meth, which means we have to play with the tune. So I cannot thank Stuffy from Independent Motorsports enough. It's a Sunday afternoon and he just spent like 2 hours on the phone to me, and we've just been playing with this, playing with the map, and then doing a whole heap of data logs and things like that. And he's been helping me out heaps, emails back and forward, phone calls and whatever. So yeah, without him, I would be in a little bit of trouble. So I cannot thank him enough. He's been an absolute massive help. So the car's fairly dialed in. So we did actually find something, one setting in the tune that was a bit funny for some reason. We can't figure out why. So we changed that and it made a hell of a difference to the power. We pulled a little bit of boost out. It's only running 18, 19 pound now. And yeah, done a bit of stuff with the fueling and the timing and the water meth table, and there's a whole heap of other stuff that we played with. So that was a massive help. The car's actually, yeah, feels awesome. And yeah, at least I've got the other map saved. So after the race and I put water meth back in it, I'll just upload the other map back in. But if I ever have to run water again, yeah, I've got a map here that's a-okay for that. So as well as the yearly scrutineer that I got done the other day by Scotty, you actually have to do an event scrutineer. So every year it's got to be scrutineered, and then every event it's got to be scrutineered. So there's a lot of scrutineering involved. Make sure everyone's car's up to scratch and there's no dodgy stuff going on. So yeah, I just went through this myself. I've got to do one side and check it all off, and then I take this to the event with my logbook, and then they yeah, do the other side of this sheet and then fill out my logbook, and then she's ready to race. So we've got to run dampeners on the hook. They've got to be secured to the hook. If they slide down the rope, we have to stop winching and stop everything, and then the dampener's got to be taken back up to the top. So I've got 3 zip ties holding that up there, because you can imagine, you know, you've done a massive winch and then you're winching halfway up and then the dampener slides all the way down to the bar. Then your navi's got to run all the way down, grab the dampener, and then run it all the way back up. So that's zip tied there. I've got a spare dampener here. This is in case you have to do a double line pull, which is what this is for. My rope shackle that I got from Roadrunner Off-Road, that was on back order. That showed up the other day. So I've got a nice red winch snatch ring and the nice rope shackle there. And then I've got a spare tree trunk. That's just for me. And then my actual tree trunk, a winch extension, and a snatch strap in there. That's all part of the scrutineering. I've got some tools in this side, and then I've managed to repack this whole side. It's a bit messy at the moment because I was digging around in there looking for stuff. But yeah, repack this side. I've got more tools now on board, more spares, which is good. Not so much for the event, but when I go out driving, it's yeah, it's good to have spares, a little bit extra. So that's all good. The sway bar links that I modified seem to work good. It actually handles like an absolute dream, like night and day compared to what it was before. I've just manually charged the winch batteries, so I've charged them with an actual battery charger. So they're all topped up, ready to go. I'll probably go for just one quick test drive with Jesse just to make sure our headphones are working. We can talk when he's winching and make sure everything, the lockers, the winch, all the stuff works. But just a quick drive, I don't want to go too far. I don't want to get the car too dirty because I want to wash it and make it clean for when we rock up to the event. So yeah, the car's pretty much 99% done. All I've got to do is, I lent Scotty my drive flanges, and I'm actually going to run drive flanges for this event. It's risky, I know, because the hubs are a good weak point, but I have broken a hub when it shouldn't have broken and it cost me the stage. So I don't know. I'll see how the drive flanges go. I'll carry hubs, and if we break a CV, I can put a hub on and unlock it and whatever. But we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. And I just got to go over the pressures in the bum stops and the coilovers all round. Just re-gas them, make sure they're all at pressure, and mainly the bum stops. But it's good just to check the coilovers, make sure they're all good. So yeah, that wraps up this little 3-part series of getting the car ready. I've literally only got the last couple of things to do, like I said, and I'm not going to bother videoing them and making a video out of it. So the next video you see on Wilddog stuff will be the Friday racing, loading this thing up, heading up there and doing the Friday stages. I don't know if it'll be the week after this video because I might need a bit more time to edit it. So there might be a different video in between, and then the Willdogs will come out 3 weeks in a row. So we've had a fair bit of rain this weekend. It's rained like both days, and the forecast is saying rain from Thursday onwards. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I don't know how much rain's coming at the moment. Like Victoria's already unpredictable with weather, but at the moment it's even more unpredictable. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Might be a sloppy weekend. So pack your raincoats, pack your gumboots, and yeah, we'll see you at the event. Don't forget to come say g'day, and if you want a free sticker or whatever, I'll have some in the car. Come and ask me for one, and yeah, I'll see you all there.
Gonna have to give it to her.